Yeah, let's talk. I just pulled up in some fools. I told little mama tie all my shoes. Showed her 2 million cash, now she woozy. 20 matches in us.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hey if you are new, hey if you are returning. And yeah, I'm not even gonna get into why I've been gone. I had a concussion, I had Coviana, and now I'm back. My body has been fighting these elements okay, as best as it could. And yeah, I can't really explain my absence for real. Besides, I was fighting for my life over here, trying to survive, live, recover, get better, and get healthy, so I can film for you guys. So I appreciate all the love and the people who have stayed during my absence. But I am back, and I owe y'all a long video. So this video will be an hour plus. I promise. Guaranteed, we locked in. It will be an hour plus video because I feel like I owe y'all that for being gone for so long. So yeah, before we get into this video, please make sure you comment, like, share, subscribe. Please do all of that. Thank you. And let's get into this video. Boom. As you can see from the title, this is going to be a messy old story time, and it will have some reoccurring people from previous story times, such as Virgo. If you've watched He Threatened My Life video, Virgo, yes, that Virgo. And we got some new people that's gonna come in that's just, oh Lord, just crazy. So yeah. Let's get into it. So boom, I was 15 years old when I started working at this rec center. And for the sake of privacy and legal reasons, I will not name this rec center. The building is still standing to this day. They are still in business, okay? When I go on that side of town, I see this place up and running and kicking with familiar cars in the front of that place. But yeah, so yeah, we're not gonna name this place because yeah. Anyways, this rec center was smack dab in the middle of the hood, y'all. Like the hoodest of the hoodest rec center you can think of. Dudes popping up, trying to fight. You know, dudes had blickies, people threatening people. I got threatened a few times. We're gonna get into that. It was a whole lot of going on working at this rec center. So being 14, 15, living in the hood, working at a hood rec center, it was no culture shock to me, but it was definitely a new level of uncomfortableness because I wasn't used to working around a bunch of men, a bunch of young boys. I was not a boy crazy teenage girl. So for some of y'all out there, y'all probably like, ooh girl, you work around a bunch of all these dudes and you seen all these dudes every day and da-da-da and da-da-da. And it wasn't that for me. Like it wasn't giving, like it wasn't giving hormones. It was giving I'm uncomfortable. It was giving I want to go home. It was giving I'm here for a check, so before y'all try to jump ahead and be like, ooh, I bet you was knocking them dudes down. I bet they was knocking you down, broke your back and put it in the backpack and hit the cat. No, it was none of that. I was 14, 15 years old, which doesn't mean anything because obviously girls my age at that time were being active. They were being fast. They were being very promiscuous and doing a lot of things with older dudes, but I was not one of them, okay? I was very shy. I was very timid. I was very guarded. I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos. I did go through some, and I don't know if I can say that. I'm going to say trauma. I went through a lot of trauma growing up. So my vision towards men in general and just like society at the time of my life was very guarded. So I had no business trying to get freaky icky deaky with nobody because I was just a scared little 14, 15-year-old girl who was recovering from a lot of trauma. So yeah, and working in this place it was very weird because, like I said, I'm the youngest female staff there at that time, working around a bunch of teenage young men, so like teenage boys to young men to like middle-aged men. So from like probably like 15 years old to about, I want to say like 40 years old. So 15 to 40, like that's a huge range of men that I'm seeing every single day in and day out. But that's how it was. And I started working at the rec center as like a not a temp, but like a temp, I guess. Not a temp, 'cause I was like 14, 15. Oh, it was through the summer program that I was in. And it was me and 4 other girls. And out of 5 of us, I think 2 of us, I think I offered a job there. But obviously, I was the only one who took it. Looking back, I should have said no. But I was the only one who took the job, right? So, boom. I'm working there full time now. That summer before I got hired, like full time, was crazy. It was a lot of drama. A lot of the workers there was messing around with some of the temp girls that was working through the program. So that's why I feel like old girl didn't get hired. So we're gonna call him Daddy's boy. So Daddy's boy was messing around with one of the program girls, and this is gonna be very triggering, so if you don't like these type of topics about like underage girls and older men, then this video is not for you. I apologize, but this is my experience. I have to talk about it because later on stuff happened. But with this girl in particular, and I'm not gonna give all her tea away because like that's not my story to tell, but just to give an example of how he was, Daddy's boy was talking to one of the program girls, and Daddy's boy knew that she was like underage because at this time he was like 22, 23, I think. And obviously, like I said, I'm 14, 15. She had to be like 16, 17. And then the other one was like 17, 18, I think. And the other one was like 19. Was she 16? I forget, but she had a kid too. So we're all like teens, you know, in a sense. And these dudes are like 21, 22, 23, 25, 28, 30, 35. Like they old, you know, compared to us. And what happened was he ended up messing with her, or did his brother. So we're going to call his brother. There's a lot of people, y'all. Damn. So we have Daddy's boy, and then his brother, we're going to call him long hair, because he had a lot of long hair. So long hair was talking to the program girl too. So long hair and old girl ended up doing the do. How do I know that? We're going to get to that later. But long hair and program ended up doing the do. Now long hair was younger than Daddy's boy. So Daddy's boy was like 22, 23. Long hair was like 19, 20. So like in the same age part, but he was still younger than Daddy's boy. So long hair, old girl ended up doing the do. Some drama happened, of course, because if you're working at a rec center every day where there's a lot of girls coming to go to the pool, like cute, and him being 19, 20 years old, of course he gonna talk to other girls. How you think he got you, boo? Like, he's going to try to chop it up with every girl that he sees. So old girl saw long hair talking to some other dude. I mean, oop. Not other dudes. Nah. Not other dudes. Old girl saw long hair talking to some other girls, and of course she got jealous, she got possessive, and I think at some point they were dating, which struck a chord with me and the other girl. I'm like, she's underage, bro. You're like 19, 20, and she's like 16, 17. Now for some of y'all out there, it may not, it's not a big deal, it's just like a year or two age difference. It's still weird that you as a 19, 20-year-old cannot find a 19, 20-year-old girl. Why are you actively pursuing someone who is 16, 17? And then when you got confronted about it, you want to be like, oh, well, she pushed up on me and I try to tell her no. Like, womp womp. Like, it's honestly, like, it's the same tricks, different dog. Honestly, stop. Yeah, so they go on, and daddy's boy ended up talking to another girl. Now, this girl really didn't want him, and it was a few other girls that would come there to the rec center. And one of these girls, she was a little girl, mind you. She's not a girl. She was a little girl. I forgot how old she was, but she was younger than me. So if I'm like 14, 15, she was like probably 12, 13. And we gonna get into this. Daddy's boy, like I said, is like 22. And I'm not saying alleged, because I'm not saying names. So if they ever see this video, it's what it is, boo. Come find me, okay? If you want to fight about it, crash out about it. Because I'm not saying alleged. Because I know what I saw. Daddy's boy was talking to a 12, 13-year-old girl. No cap. I don't gotta lie. He was talking to a 12, 13-year-old girl. And I was like, what? And he tried to play it and be like, oh, like, she sat on my lap. What was I supposed to do? Tell her young ASS to get the F up and get off your lap. Like, you're a grown man. Why are you letting this little girl that's obviously learning these things from somebody or from TV or from home that is cute to do this? Why are you letting her sit in your lap? And it all happened within my first summer of being here. So I'm just like, nah, y'all got it. Y'all definitely got it, because there's some weird PDF file energy going on here. And I said that twice, so YouTube don't try to strike me or anything. But PDF file energy going on here. And I wasn't rocking with it. The other girl wasn't rocking with it. And we was just like, nah, y'all got it. So, I know that was long-winded, but I have to give y'all the atmosphere of this place to really, pull y'all in to why this place, which is full of drama. And yeah, so let's really get into the nitty-gritty now. So, it's been over a year. Fast forward, it's been over a year since I've been working at the rec center. Of course, within that year, I met Virgo. I met Daddy's boy, long hair. I don't want to say their nicknames because, like, you know how, like, you meet some dudes and, like, they're not famous, but they, like, hood famous. Or, like, they just, like, local, like they're known in the city. I don't want to say nicknames. Long story short, I met a lot of other dudes that worked there. And within this year, of course, it became a lot of drama with me and one boy. And we're going to call him Jailbird. I don't care. We're going to call him Jailbird because I'm pretty sure he was in and out of the system. So we're going to call him Jailbird. So Jailbird was family friend of Daddy's boy. So Jailbird was a friend of Daddy's boy. So Daddy's boy, his father obviously owns this rec center, right? And he don't need a name. We're just going to call him owner. Like, that sounds stupid. Okay, scratch that. We're going to call the dad that owns this whole rec center, we're going to call him Player. Because he was a player from the Himalayas, okay? He sure was. So, Player, the dad, the owner of the rec center, he had like 12, 13, 15 sons, no cap. And they all worked at the rec center. So, when I'm saying brother, I'm not joking. Like, they were all brothers. If they wasn't, like, related, they were like cousins, nephews, you know what I'm saying? So this particular person, Jailbird, he was not a cousin nor a brother, but he was like a close family friend with Player. So he would come there a lot, and then Player be like, oh yeah, like this my son, and he be like, yeah dad, like hire me, because for the longest Jailbird wasn't working there, but he was always there all the time. Like, he was working there. So I guess eventually, somehow, some way, they actually hired Jailbird. So Jailbird started working there. I don't like Jailbird. Like, Jailbird's energy was so nasty, bro. I was just like, bro, you're weird. Like, I don't like you at all. Like, we got beef, like, off rip. So over time, Jailbird would let his sister and his family come up there, right? And I didn't care because I was just a freaking receptionist at a desk. So I'm not really checking for him or his family at all because I don't care about you. So one day, Jailbird, and mind you, I am purposely not speaking on a lot of things that happened here because one is really traumatizing, but two, it's just a lot of drama. Like, I could tell y'all every single incident, but it'll be pointless, you know. Within my first year here, like I just said, it was a lot of drama between me and my coworkers, me and my boss, me and some of the regulars that came to this rec center. And the drama would usually fall into, oh, you don't want to talk to me, you too bougie, that's why I'm gonna F you and I'm gonna take you out, or I'm gonna follow you home, or like, it was just a lot of like harassment. Like, my whole first year at this rec center, I was getting harassed, stalked, threatened. I got groped, I got cornered, I got hit in the head with a pen, I got choked. Like, a lot of bad things happened to me at this rec center. So that's why I'm not going through every single incident. I'm just highlighting overall my ghetto experience at this place. So yeah, so that's why this story may sound like it's all over the place, because it is. I don't want to go through every single experience. I'm just highlighting certain parts that are obviously the most drama filled parts, right? So yeah, Jailbird, one day, I guess he wasn't feeling me, or something must have happened, and I had said something like, okay bro, like, just get out my face. And he was like, who you talking to, like, oh, like, I'll get my little sister, and I'm like, okay, get your sister. Oh, so what happened was, I think he had snatched my phone or something, and like, I had stepped on his shoe, like I stepped on his shoe, and I pushed him off me, and he was like, bro, like on a ninja's, like, ow, I'm like, bro, like, okay, like, just get my face. Like, you came in my face trying to fight me over my phone for what? And he's like, nah, like, I'm gonna get my sister to whoop your butt, I'm like, well, get your sister. Because one thing about me, I was never afraid to fight. Just because I'm shy and timid and quiet, like, around a bunch of boys, it doesn't mean I'm scared to fight. Go get your sister. I'll fight your sister. And he was like, nah, like, like, no, like, y'all better get her talking to daddy's boy. And daddy boy like, oh, what she do her? I'm like, ninja, ain't nobody gonna get me, because what are you talking about? He like, there you go, you keep talking, So I just got quiet, because it's like, I need to work here to make money, and I don't got time to be coming to WWE fight night or Monday Mania every single time I'm here at the job. Like, I don't have time for all that. So I'm like, you know what, Jailbird, you got it. And it was around this time that I had seen firsthand how they stick up for each other. Men always enable other men's behavior, even when they're wrong. So daddy's boy, Virgo, long hair, they were all like enabling Jailbird's behavior to keep being rude towards me. And it was even one time when Virgo had put his hands on me, which is so like foreshadowing, because it's like, girl, if you was 15 years old when he first did this, why would you then years later spin the block and do the do with him and think something had changed? I don't know, but what he did at this time should have been foreshadowing to what he did in my he threatened my life video. Very much foreshadowing. So one day we're in the office, and well, we call it the cage, because it was like a literal cage with a desk attached to it, so people could see us and we could see them, but it was like a bird cage almost. So one day, me and Virgo were in the cage, and I'm playing around with him. Like I kind of like accidentally hit him with like something in my hand. I was like, boop, right on the head. And he literally took his whole strength, shoved me into the door. Like, not at the door, not to the door, in the door. So the door is like half wood and half like that plastic type glass. So he shoved me to the point where like the plastic glass kind of pops out of the hinges of the door. So when he did that, my boss walked by. He was like, hey, y'all doing too much. Chill out. And I was like, oh, my bad. Like, it wasn't. And like, I instantly apologized even though it was his fault. So I'm like, oh, my bad. Yada, yada, yada. And there were so many times that Virgo was a huge snake, bro. Like, Virgo really threw me under the bus so many times, bro. I was like, you are such a snake. ASS, like, you are so weird, bro. Like, you are just, he was a huge snake. And the fact that I messed with him all them years later. Anyways, so yeah, Virgo definitely threw me under the bus a lot of times to my boss, got me in trouble a lot. And I'm like, you're fake. And he like, oh, well, I'm just joking. At that time, I should have known that he was just a weirdo, because you're throwing a teenage girl under the bus for your actions, and you're a grown man. You're giving weird. So yeah, during that time, like I said, I had a lot of my coworkers trying to do the do with me, knowing my age. And like I said, my coworkers were, almost all of them were over 18. Like I said, I'm 15. So you do the math of, how many 18 plus year olds try to mess with a 15-year-old girl. A lot. And Virgo was the only one who wasn't trying to mess with me at that time, but it still doesn't negate the fact that I feel like he waited until I was like the legal age to finally want to mess with me. So he still doesn't kind of escape that weird PDF file energy. Like, oh, like, I waited until she was legal, so technically I'm not a predator because I waited until she was 22, even though I've known her since she was 15. And it's like, okay, but it's still giving PDF file energy, because it's like, you've been basically like plotting on me since I was 15, but you waited until I was like 22 to want to mess with me. Still doesn't make it right. And I feel like where I messed up at as a young girl, but I didn't know any better, but I feel like I still should have taken some accountability, was when I started to go out with them like after work. So like every Friday or like our paydays, we will go out. Mind you, I am the only female worker at this place. So I'm 15, 16 now at this point, hanging out with 22, 23, 24, 25, 28-year-olds. At 15, 16, I'm hanging out with 28-year-old men, and we're going out to, not like bars, but like obviously, but we're going to like Applebee's, or what's that other place that used to be popular back in the day? Buffalo Wings, or I said Buffalo Wings, Buffalo Wild Wings, or like Applebee's or whatever. And just sitting down talking to them or whatever, and I remember just sitting in the middle of all these dudes at this little tight table, and they are just panting over me like I'm like a snack. It's like if you was to throw a bone at a bunch of hungry dogs. It's like they were just like just fighting over me and asking me all these weird questions. Like at the time, I didn't think it was weird, but looking back, it was weird. Like being 15, 16 years old, feeling like I'm in a hot seat around a bunch of older dudes asking me, am I single? Am I a virgin? What kind of dudes I like? What I'm into? Do I drink? oh, like, do you like him? Do you like me? Do you like them? Do you like us? And it's just like, I'm 15, 16. I'm like, yes, I'm a virgin. No, I don't like you. No, I don't like him. I just want to work here. And they just sitting and just looking at me like with this predatory look in their eyes. Like, oh yeah, like she innocent. Like, I'm going to get her. I'm going to get that. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is a lot for my little 15-year-old brain. This is too much going on. So almost every week or every other week, this would happen where like we would go out and they would even try to use me as a wing woman sometimes. And that was so weird to me. And like I said, that was so weird to me at times because Daddy's boy, and he was the main one always instigating and like stirring the pot. So when we would go out, at this point, I did have a little crush on Virgo. So he would see Virgo talk to another girl, like when we going out, and he'd be like, oh, like you see Virgo over there? Yeah, like you oh yeah, like you see him over there? Like you should go say something to him. And I'm like, why? And he like, because like, ain't that your man? Like, ain't that your husband? And I'm like, no, like stop saying that. Like being 15, I'm thinking, okay, like you're just being weird, cause like you know me and Virgo aren't dating, obviously, and like why are you being weird? And there was so many times where like Daddy's boy, he would just point out other girls and be like, oh, like don't she got a fat butt? Like ain't she cute? Da, da, da. And he would be asking me, and I'm like, yeah, she cool. Like she's not ugly. And he'd be like, yeah, like she look good, da da da. Mind you, I feel like Daddy's boy was very much anti-black. And I only said that because I forgot to mention this huge important detail. But at this rec center, everybody was, for the most part, mixed or Hispanic. The other workers that worked there, they were all black. So Playa and his kids were all biracial. Even Daddy's boy, he was biracial too. And a lot of his extended family, like the nephews or the cousins that worked there, they were Hispanic. So Playa's family that worked at this rec center, they were either biracial or Hispanic. Now, the other people that he hired on later were black people. So Virgo was black, but long hair, Daddy's boy were biracial. Jailbird was a light-skinned black boy. Virgo was a dark-skinned black dude. And everybody else were like black, like light-skinned to dark-skinned black people. Okay? And I mention this because it plays a huge part later on when I mention the aftermath after I got fired from this place, because I did get fired. We're gonna get into that. I got fired from this place, and how they treat us compared to their own is astronomical. It's actually diabolical. Y'all love that word, diabolical. This was actually diabolical, for real. So over time, there was a clear distinction between Playa and like his family and then us, the workers. So anytime Playa had functions with his kids and his family, he would always make it clear to leave us out of it, because he didn't want, I guess, us black folks around his family, but you tolerate us enough to work for you at your rec center, and you want to be on our faces and laugh. Well, not in my face, because oh yeah, so like my first holiday party there, Playa had came up to me, or he was like near me, and I walked up to him, and I'm like, hi, Mr. Player. I just want to say I thank you for this opportunity, for hiring me, into your rec center and da 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 da. Like, I appreciate you, because I think he gave us like gift cards or something, and him being the owner of this rec center, I want to show gratitude. So I'm like, and mind you, I'm not in his face like I'm about to kiss him. We're like this. Yeah, like that. Like, we're not like this. We're like this. Face to face talking. And I was grabbing some food, and I'm like, oh, thank you. And he's like, yeah, like, but I can't be seen talking to you for too long, because I don't want to get too close and get a lawsuit. I'm like, huh? I'm like, oh, okay. I just want to say hi to you. And he's like, yeah, that's fine, but like, we can't keep talking, and just walked away. So, going back way to the beginning, when I said there was one female worker before me that worked at this rec center, and she left, or she got fired, or something like that. That leads me to believe that player must have been fornicating, flirting, or overstepped his boundaries with that last female worker, and she must have done something, said something, or something, because the fact that their last female worker, I think at that point in time, he said it was like, not him, but I think Virgo has said it, that their last female worker was like over 5 years ago. So why is it that the last female worker from over 5 years ago isn't here anymore, one, but two, why would you make that statement unless you got your hand caught in that cookie jar being messy? So when he said that, I'm like, I'm thinking that you must have got your hand caught in that cookie jar fraternizing with another female worker that was working under you, and she got that ass. That's what happened. She got you. You got caught, and you probably made a vow from that day forward that you was never gonna even talk nor breathe in a female's direction, because you don't want to get caught up in some scandal. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, you a grown old man, because mind you, Player was like in his 60s, so you old. So the fact that you have to fight the urge, or you can't even have enough discipline or self-control to talk to a 16, 15, 16-year-old teenage girl without saying something like that, very inappropriate. It's just like, so all of y'all are PDF files, or y'all have PDF file energy or tendencies or something, because this is the father. This is the owner of this rec center. The father, the oldest man in this building, saying that he can't be around me because he don't want to get a lawsuit. This man is somebody's daddy, talking about he don't want to get a lawsuit for just saying hi and being cordial to a 15, 16-year-old girl. Which leads me to believe why daddy's boy, when he was talking to the 12, 13-year-old girl, and when it got exposed, and he didn't get fired, but he got transferred, the apple does not fall too far from the tree. That's all I'm going to say. So I was like, you know what? You got it, Player. You got it, Mr. Player. I would never say hi or bye to you again. I won't even acknowledge your presence if you walk in front of me and you block my entrance. I would just look at the sky and act like you don't exist until you move. And that's exactly what I did. Every time I saw Player from the Himalayas, every time I saw him, he would walk past the cage. I would just look the other way. Because, like, you made it obvious that you can't control your old hormones from raging and keep your self-control while talking to a 60-year-old teenage girl. So I don't need to look at you. I don't gotta say hi, bye to you. I don't want to kick with you. I don't want to skate with you. I don't want to do nothing with you because you made it clear that you don't have self-control. So why am I gonna be in your face? So yeah, at holiday parties, he would speak to all the dudes besides me. He would always go out of his way to show more love to the dudes comparison to me. But if we're breaking down to race, he would show more love to his biracial Hispanic people than he would to us black folk. And that's just the T with the T on the T. It is what it is. And he made it very known and very clear that all his baby mamas were like foreign. And he was like, yeah, like his mama Indian, his mama Hispanic, his mama da da da, his mama da da da. And they was like, oh, ha ha, dad, you're so funny, dad, ha 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 ha. And I'm just like, there's so much colorism, sexism going on here at this job. It was so much going on. I'm just like, yikes. What am I doing here as a black girl? If there's some clear hatred towards my kind, and towards my kind, me being a woman, there's a lot of hatred going on here, and I don't think I should be here in this business, in this building, working for y'all, if there's blatant colorism, sexism, all types of isms just floating around, child. Fetishism, like everything ism, just too many isms for my liking. And there was so many times where at this rec center, I was blatantly disrespected by regulars that came in. One regular, his little brother threw a pen. I don't have a pen. He threw a pen at my forehead, and I had a mark right here for the longest. I was bleeding. And you know what player said? Oh, just put a band-aid on it. I've had some of his other co-workers that worked out in the field, because we had people that worked in the rec center, and then we had people who worked out in the field. I had one of his co-workers, and you know what? I'm gonna say his name because I don't care. His nickname was Coffee, because he was a very, very dark skinned man. Dark skin, like chocolate of the chocolate of the chocolate. Like he was dark. Mind you, I am 15, 16 at this point. And he used to call me college girl. Mind you, he knew I wasn't in college. I swear on my entire being, existence, life. He knew I was not in college. Mind you, I never gave him that discretion that I wasn't in college. I just said, oh, I'm in school. Looking back, when I was 15, you can tell I was not a college kid. Like, I looked young. That's why if you are a young girl watching this, do not let a man ever tell you, oh, you look old for your age. No, you don't. You look every bit of 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. You do not look 22, 28, 29, 30, 35 plus. Even with the heaviest makeup and the most lace front, you still look like a kid. I promise you, because it's going to show through how you act, through how you talk, or how you walk. Period. So don't ever let anyone try to finesse you like, oh, you look old for your age. You don't, boo. You don't. Because even if you do look old for your age, you don't talk like you're older. You talk like you're that age. Like you talk like a kid. So one day, Coffee, the way our rec center was set up, there were 2 sets of steps, and you could come up or go down like either side. So I went through the pool hallway. Mind you, down there was so secluded and creepy with little to no lights. Keep that in mind. So I'm walking up that way, and I'm walking up these steps. Or was I walking down? I was walking up, and the steps are so deep. They're like this. So if you're walking past the steps, you can't really see who's down there unless you're like looking down the steps. So I'm walking up, and like I see him, and I'm like, oh, because before this incident, he had been harassing me to go out with him on a date. He had been talking to me endlessly, and I kept rejecting him. I'm like, I'm cool on you. I'm cool. Mind you, I never lied about my age. I don't think I ever told him my age, but the way he was talking to Virgo and everybody else at that rec center, they all knew that I was a teenager. They all knew that I was young. They all knew that. So I'm like, I just assumed that he knew that I was young too, because it's like all of y'all be talking, and I know y'all have talked about me because I was the only female worker at this ghetto rec center. So I know y'all was talking about me. So I was walking up, and I remember he was coming down, or was he coming up behind me? I forget which way he was coming from. All I know is that I'm in the corner, and he's talking to me, and I'm looking up like this, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, hey, like, what's up with you, mama? Like, I'm trying to talk to you. Like, you've been avoiding me. I'm like, coffee, I'm not avoiding you. Like, I'm cool, bro. Like, I'm just trying to get to where I gotta get to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get up these steps and, go back to the cage and do what I gotta do. And he you wanna go out with me? I'm like, nah. He like, oh man, come on. Like, I just wanna go to a little jazz concert with you and, get to know you. Da, da, da. I'm like, no, like, I'm okay. Like, us women, like, we gotta smile through the uncomfortableness to keep from getting choked out or slapped. Ooh, I gotta blurt that out. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta keep from getting unalived by a grown man who can't control himself. So I'm just like, no, I'm fine. And he like, come on. And the minute he said that, while my boss walked by, he was like, hey, what's going on? He was like, oh, nothing. Like, ooh, I'm gonna say my boss name. He was like, oh, nothing. We just talking. And I was just like I had like the shallow breathing because I was scared. And my boss is like, hey, like, was he bothering you? Like, you cool? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. I'm good, And it's just sad being 15, 16 years old, experiencing this type of harassment from grown men who should want another grown woman. I wasn't a grown woman. I was a kid at that point. I don't got nothing for you, okay? I don't got nothing for you, Bookie. Okay? I can't cook. I can't clean. I can't do none of that, okay? I don't know how to... All I know how to cook is pancakes at that point. Like, being 15, 16, yeah. Like, all I knew how to cook was pancakes. So, unless you want to eat pancakes every day, like, I don't know what to tell you. I can't cook. I can't clean. And I don't got no ring. Okay, so I don't got nothing for you, Boogie. Okay, I have nothing for you. So that was one of the main crazy times where I was just like, these men here are unhinged. And you have to keep in mind, this is coming from the standpoint of a 16-year-old. These men were unhinged. And I'm 16 years old saying this at this time in my life, thinking these men are lust thirsty. You guys are lusting over a teenage girl. Y'all got all this, yeah, and you want to chase a teenage cat. That don't sit right. And it never did. It never did. And day in and day out, for that next year, I just experienced constant harassment. The co-workers there groping me, trying to corner me, harassing me, saying that they would do unforgettable sexual things to me, being told I was just faking it. Oh, you just playing. Oh, you act like you an innocent girl, but I know you get down like them. Why won't you touch it? Why won't you suck it? Why won't you look at it? Oh my gosh, that just reminded me of long hair. I'll never forget. So me and long hair, like I said, We wasn't like close, but when we did go out, like when me and my whole staff went out together a lot, like after work, long hair was chilling on me. Like, he was cool with me. Like, he never really said anything flirty or like sexual towards me. So I'm thinking, okay, me and long hair, like, we see each other, like, we cool. I remember this so vividly. And at this point, he had stopped messing with old girl way at the beginning of the story. He stopped messing with her because she was tired of him cheating on her. And like I said, that should have never been, because he was like 19, 20. She was like 16, 17. It should have never been, but it was. Whatever. I'll never forget, I was at a sleepover through my church at that time. And he had me on Snapchat. And I remember I'm on Snapchat and I see his little snap come through on my phone. So I click on it and he like, what's up? Why did this man, like, this back in the day when the little timer photos that you could send through Snapchat, when they expired, I think you could like replay it once and that was it. Why did this man why did this 20-something-year-old man send me a like 10-second photo of his junk? I was at the table at a sleepover with my church. Not like that. It was like a teen time thing for like us young girls at the church. So we were all at this lady's house. And she was real cool, you know, real nice. I'm sitting at the table eating my food. I'm like, oh, okay, on my phone. I click on it. He has his pickle. He has his pickle posted up over a girl's butt. I vividly, and like, I hate that I even remember this photo so vividly, but it was just so traumatizing. It just scarred my brain forever. He had his pickle over this girl's butt crack, and he had the flash on too, cause like it was dark in the room, and I could tell he had the flash on. Took the picture and sent it to me, and he then asked, do you think this is big? When I first seen it, I literally locked my phone and then put it down, because it was a girl next to me on this side, it was a girl on this side, and people are walking behind me to get to their seat at the table that we were at in this lady's home. I just put my phone down, keep eating, and my phone is still making that little Snapchat sound. So I'm like, bro, why is he blowing me up, bro? Like, I do not want to go through this. Mind you, at this point, I'm like 16, 17 now. I'm like, bro, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. Please stop. So I get done eating and I go to the living room. I sit down and I open up the snap again. He like, why are you not saying nothing? I'm like, I don't know, like, it looks average. I didn't say that. I was like, I don't know, like, I don't think I'm the one that should be telling you if it's big or not. And he like, well, like, do you like it? Like, do it look nice? I'm like, I guess, like, if it looks nice to you, then, like, that's all that matters. And he like, why you being weird? LOL. Ninja, why you being weird to me? I'm over here on this beautiful Sunday. It was a Sunday too. I'll never forget that. On this beautiful Sunday morning, eating my food, eating my sausage. I look at my phone. There's a sausage on my phone. There's a sausage on my phone. Baby, I was only expecting to see one sausage link this morning, and that was one on my plate. Not the one on my phone, okay? Like, 1. 2, this is pornography I'm not going to say the actual word, but this is pornography. So you could get arrested. I can get arrested for receiving it. Because the state that I live in, we can get in trouble if we receive pornography from from somebody else. So like the sender and the receiver can get in trouble if pornography is exchanged. So I'm like, how am I being weird when you sent me this photo out of nowhere? And he was like, bro, just answer the question. Like, is it big or not? Do you like it or not? Like, would you suck it or not? Like, just asking crazy questions. I'm like, long hair, where's this coming from? I'm like, I thought you were still messing with old girl. He like, nah, like, I just wanted to show you this, LOL. I'm like, it's cool. And that was it. But I'm like, long hair, there was never no indicator that you wanted to talk to me, that you liked me, nothing. So why out of nowhere on a beautiful Sunday morning, you send me a picture of your pickle on a girl's butt crack? Like he had just got done doing it and then like, oh, let me, and then send it to her. Like, even if by any crazy, wild imagination in my brain that I liked you, you think you having your pickle on a girl's butt crack was gonna make me say, ooh, if she got it, I need to get it too. I need to get that in too. No, your pickle is on a girl's butt crack. You can keep smashing her because I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts of what you got. And I don't want to get with... Nah, look, I'm good. I'm good. So, after that day, me and long hair never looked at each other the same ever again. Like, he never talked to me ever again. And it's like, no one told you to send a picture of your pickle on a girl's butt crack to my phone at 9 a.m. in the morning while I'm eating my sausage. Okay, and my pancakes and my grits. Like, how you think I feel? My peace was interrupted. I was chilling, minding my little teenage girl business. And you over here sending pornography to my phone. So I'm just like, if I didn't think everything before was sus or PDF file energy, this is definitely PDF file energy. Because you are 20 years old sending a 16-year-old your pickle on Snapchat. And then you got the pickle on a girl's butt crack. Like, I'm just like, fix it, Jesus, fix it. I don't know what's going on. I'm just a girl, okay? I am just a girl. I did not sign up for none of this. So shortly after that happened, Virgo's friends, I don't know if they were all just trying to take turns to see who could get the hand in the cookie jar. But spoiler alert, none of them got their hand in the cookie jar. None of them, okay? I already told y'all that my V card was taken by Smurf. My first real relationship and ex. So, none of these dudes at this job ever got their hand in the cookie jar. Okay, so, whatever. But I feel like that's what they're trying to do. Because suddenly, out of nowhere, Virgo's friends and one of his cousins, I'm not going to say his name, but one of his cousins worked there too. But his cousin, he was real mature and he had a girl. So, he wasn't thinking about me. But one of his other friends, I'm not gonna say his name, he tried to talk to me too. And I'm just like, what's up with y'all grown men trying to talk to a teenage girl? Y'all got all this punani in the world and y'all gotta talk to me? Y'all got all this grown woman cat out here and y'all want to get a teenage girl cat. I don't understand it. It's too much. It's just, whew, it's ghetto. So he's trying to talk to me. And and I'm not proud of this, but at 15, 16 years old, I was drinking hardcore juice. Put it that way. And before y'all get in the comment, be like, oh, you was being fast. Okay, yeah, I was. Okay. Right hand to Jesus. Okay, I was being fast. Yeah, I was. And no, that wasn't smart. Because if I would have got too drunk at that young age, something could have happened to me. They could have taken advantage of me. They could have did what they want with me. But by the grace of God, nothing happened. I'm still here. Thank you, Lord. Okay. But I know. So I don't need nobody in the comments giving me a long-winded speech about how it was dangerous. I know it was dangerous. Okay. I was 15 drinking hardcore juice. I was. With a bunch of grown men. I was. Was it smart? No. Was it fast? Sure. You know what? You can have it. But like I said, I wasn't in the business, luckily, of trying to smash any of these dudes. Because even though I was being grown in certain aspects of like drinking underage, I was not in the business of smashing grown men while being underage. That wasn't me. Okay. So luckily, I wasn't on that type of timing. But nonetheless, one night I was drinking some hardcore juice, and Virgo's friend had got my number. We swapped numbers, and he hit me up. Mind you, Virgo's friend wasn't my type. Like, I didn't like him. He low-key stank a little bit, and I just didn't like him. So I pretended I didn't see his number in my phone, and I deleted it. And then the next day at work, Virgo was like, oh, why you not talking to my dude? Like he a good dude. Whole time they be the corniest dude at the group. He a good dude. And granted, he could have been a great dude, but it's like, I don't want you. I want you. No, I'm joking. But seriously, like, I'm like, I don't want him. I don't want none of y'all. And he like, oh, like, you fake. And I'm like, call it what you want, but I'm not about to be fake messing around with somebody and give up my V card to a dude that I don't even like. At least with Smurf, I did like him initially. Big mistake. Anyways, it's just like, yeah, nah, I'm cool on you. So he was like, oh, you faking, you playing. So then he felt the way because I snubbed him. And then over time, it's like all the dudes just kept trying until I was like, I'm cool on all of y'all. And then at some point, they just stopped trying. But some of the other dudes there that didn't know me for real, they kept trying, but it just kind of like fizzled out, right? So by this point, I've been here for like 2 years now. So this is 2 years worth of stuff that I'm telling y'all. I'm trying to condense it all in, but this is 2 years worth of stuff. If y'all want me to make additional videos about like a specific time that I've mentioned in this story in a separate video, let me know. Because I'm not going to just do it all willy-nilly. Let me know. Actually, there's one story time that I want to make separately about this one boy that I met at the rec center. And then he goes to me, and then he had a whole girlfriend and a kid. Yeah, good times. Anyways, if y'all want that, then let me know. But yeah, so time passed, like at this point, time has passed, and me and Daddy's boy, we are growing to not like each other. Because at this point, he was doing a lot of F-boy behavior in my face, and he was talking crazy. And I don't know what happened behind closed doors. I don't know if Playa gave his son a raise or gave him a different title or position. But baby, Daddy's boy was really living up to his name, okay? He really started feeling himself, and he would start talking to us crazy to the point where even Virgo was like, because Virgo and Daddy's boy were like this. They were like friends. Like they were like day one A1s. So when Virgo had mentioned something, I'm like, yeah, this gotta be serious. Because Virgo and Daddy's boy were like cool. Because when I started working there, Virgo had already been working there for a few years. So when Virgo was like, nah, like daddy's boy, like he really tripping. Like ever since he got that little money, like he really, trying to act brand new, trying to act fly. So when daddy's boy got that little money, he started walking around like he was the boss. Like he was the owner of the rec center. And he started talking like this and oh, you do this and like what I say and I said it and I said that. And we looking like, you're not the boss. Your dad is the boss. Mr. Player of the Himalayas is the boss, not you. So you can't tell us what to do, okay? And he like, yeah, like this my rec center and I tell y'all what to do. And this my, like, sir, this is not your hood. You lived in a nice little house in the suburbs, okay? You ain't never known no hood, okay? ever until this rec center that was in the hood. That's it. But outside of that, baby, you ain't never been in no trenches, okay? So slow your roll, okay? Slow your roll, cause you ain't never been in no hood, okay? And in that city, it was crazy, but it's like I wouldn't have been claiming that city because it's like, honey, this is not a big rich town, okay? We are not in power, okay? I don't want to be the king of New York, okay? I don't want to be the king of the city, okay? So not too much, but yeah, like he would just walk around with his chest puffed up, and I just remember they used to be upstairs in the weight room working out. And I say working out because pumping your chest with some weights but completely ignoring your whole lower body is not a workout. It's not a workout, especially for men. Work y'all legs. Why do y'all want to walk around with all these muscles but no leg strength? I'm so confused. Anyways, not too much. I don't want to speak on people's bodies because I don't like when people do it to me. But that's just a mere observation. So just whatever. So he'll walk around. Mind you, daddy's boy is like 5'3". I'm 5'3". So yeah, you're really doing too much for your height. Okay, so calm down. So daddy's boy walking around with his chest pumped up like and everybody's like, you're weird. So at this point, I had grew some thick skin. So when I started at this job at 14, 15, I was very timid, like I said, very shy, wouldn't say much. But working at this job, I grew thick skin. And this job was very toxic because more days than not, I was going home crying to my mom. I was crying about this job. I was just crying because I was just so mentally exhausted. Daddy's boy was pure image of Satan. Like, he was just so evil. And I remember when one day I was walking home, 'cause I didn't have a car, obviously. Daddy's boy saw me and he was like, oh, you need to ride home. And he was hanging out with one of my classmates. So one of my classmates at my high school, he worked there too with his brother. We're gonna get into that. And he was in the passenger, but his car had, I don't want to say his car, but his car had like 2 seats in the back. We had to lift the seat up in the front to get to the back. So I was like, yeah. So I tried to grab the door, and like he kind of like moved the car a little bit. Like, you know how someone's like, like they keep like revving their car up. Basically, he kept moving his car up, so like I couldn't grab the door handle all the way. So I'm like, Daddy's boy, please stop playing, bro. Like, just stop. Like, I had a long day at work already. Please stop playing. And he was like, okay, no, like, I'm for real. Like, just grab the door. So I go to grab it again. He moved the car again. I'm like, bro, stop playing. Like, I want to go home. He like, all right, bro. Like, just open up the door. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to, but you keep revving up your car and jerking it forward where I can't grab the door. So what are you doing? He's like, okay, come on. So I go for it, and he did it again. I'm like, you know what? I just start to walk. And you know how, like, when a dude is, like, driving his car, but, like, he, like, slowing down to, like, match your pace of walking? So, like, he's yelling out of the passenger window because he's driving. And he, like, hey, come on, like, just get in the car. Like, why the fuck you playing? Like, you playing too motherfucking much. Like, stop fucking playing with me. Like, get in the car. And I'm just walking. And as I'm walking, like, tears are coming down my eyes. Because it's like, you're trying to humiliate me. Because you know I don't have a car. And you know me not having a car is one of my biggest insecurities at that time. It was. Because all my friends at that point had cars besides me. I remember he was like, bro, come on, bro. Get in the motherfucking car. Why the fuck you playing? Like, you're doing too fucking much. And he was like, oh, so you mad now? You mad? You want to be mad now? Da-da-da. Oh, like, you mad at me? You mad at me? And I'm like, bro, leave me alone. Then he was like, you. Like, he just cussing me out. Like, F you, you B, F you B, F you B, F you B. And he just speeds off in his little speed car. Speeds off. And, bro, I was crying. That whole walk home, I was crying in tears. And I'm like, this man is evil. And I'm saying all this to say, because what I'm about to tell you next justified how I felt. It justified everything that I said and did to this man. And by this point, I had been in for like 2.5 years already. It would have been 3 years. No, it had already been 3 years at that point. Yeah, so it had been 3 years. Either way, it had been some time later. And I'll never forget, my boss, he will always get on us to close the windows. Because, you know, we in the hood, so we can't have those windows open if someone break in, right? So I'll never forget, it was in November. It was a Friday night, and I remember vividly, it was 7:45 p.m. We had 15 minutes until we left, y'all, because we left at 8. And mind you, all this happened while I was in high school. Like, let's just take a step back for a moment. My whole duration of working at this rec center, I was in high school. So I worked from, I think, 3 to 8 or 4 to 8 every day besides Sundays. I think it was November 13th. I don't remember the date exactly. It was somewhere in the teens. I remember that. Friday night, November, 7:45 p.m. I keep repeating myself because y'all gotta understand, 15 minutes until we are about to clock out. 15 minutes. And something in my spirit told me, Shell, something is about to go down. And I should have known because it was eerily quiet. It was eerily calm. It's like the calm before the storm. It was so calm. And I'm like, okay. So I got my book bag, my little Nike book bag. I had it under the desk. I'm like, okay. I closed the windows behind me. Okay, cool. I closed these windows. Okay, cool. I sit back down and now I'm on my phone. Daddy's boy was not supposed to work that day because he didn't work on Fridays. Daddy's boy scares me because, mind you, the way the cage was, it was a cage and one door to go in and out of, but the door was like kind of narrow. So I couldn't see anybody coming until I like turned like completely around to look at them. So I didn't know who was coming up. So I'm on my phone, and I think he tried to snatch my phone. I'm like, boy, who the? Then I looked at him, and I'm like, Daddy's boy, like, what you doing here? Cause I hadn't seen him like for most of the day. He's like, don't worry about it, I'm here. Excuse me. Okay, I'm just asking why you here because I haven't seen you all day. And he's like I said, don't worry about why I'm here. I said, okay, daddy's boy, like, just go ahead and get out my face. And he grabbed my hand, and he like, don't put your hand. I said, don't touch me. I said, if I was you, I would walk away. And he's like, oh, you're threatening me? I'm like, I said what I said. Now go ahead and just walk away. And like, I grabbed the pen. When I grabbed the pen, there's a history with me and pens, but we may not get into that. But I grabbed the pen because, baby, I was about to John Wick him, okay? And this way before John Wick came out, okay? I about to John Wick him, okay? I'm like, you best to get on about your business and find you something safe to do, because playing in my face is not your safest option. Like, it's really not. And that's one thing I stood on working at this rec center, is that I was standing on business about me. I may have been quiet, but baby, I got these hands, okay? I've won every fight that I fought. So trust, fighting was never the issue, okay? Standing on business was never the issue. So, and it doesn't matter if it was a man or a woman. Standing on business was never the mother freaking issue. The way I was raised, if someone put their hands on you, you put your hands on them, no matter the race, gender, whatever. You want to fight? Let's tussle. Like, period. So, when he was getting all buck with me, I was like, you need to step back. He's like, or what? Oh, like, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. I hate when people say that. You don't have to be scared to get your ass beat. Like, you don't have to be scared to get hit. Okay, you're not scared. Congrats. Do you want a cookie? Do you want a cookie? Do you? Here, take it. Like, when people say, oh, I'm not scared, you don't have to be scared to get knocked out. You don't. It just means you was brave before you got knocked out. But you don't gotta be scared to get knocked out. Like, I don't get when people say that to class. I don't say that. Better yet, I don't say much because I'm not a talker. Like, when I want to fight, let's just fight. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to keep. I'm not going to say, I'm from I'm from Sesame Street, and over here we don't play around. Like, I don't gotta rep my city, rep my hood, rep my family. I don't care, bro. Let's just fight. You want to fight? Let's fight. I don't got time to rep my hood, my city, my hometown, my schools. Like, okay, like, is this a resume, or like, what are we doing here? I'm like, yeah, go ahead on about your business. And he like, oh, that's a threat? I'm like, it can be whatever you want it to be. I don't really care. And he like, you think you tough, you think you tough, you think you tough. I'm like, I don't gotta think I'm tough. I know I am, because I'm not scared of nobody. And he like, oh, so you not scared? You not scared? I'm like, who am I scared of? Like, at this point, now I'm talking ish to him, because it's like, okay, you just want to get your little ego stroked, and I'm not gonna stroke your ego. So it is what it is. It is what it ain't. And he like, you think you so to like, oh, like, you just think you da 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 da. I'm like, no, you think I'm that way. So mind you, I'm sitting down the whole time, and he's standing up over me. So I'm like, get out of my face, because I don't like when people stand over me. And he's just like, huh, you scared? I'm like, scared of who? Scared of what? Like, I'm so confused right now. He like, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, well then go ahead and get out of my face. And then the next thing that he said out his mouth, I was like, yeah, it's up for you. It's up for you, big dog. It's up for you. This man was like, you ain't gonna do nothing. Like, I'll pew pew you. He said this. He was like, I'll pew pew you. I will pew pew you and your mama. Y'all don't know much about my mother, because I don't speak on her. But one thing I will say to you is, don't speak on her, okay? Don't speak on my mother. ever. Unless you want a death sentence, unless you want a bounty on your head top, do not speak on that one right there. I don't play about her. I will play about me sometimes, but her, she never getting played with. Ever. 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 Not in this lifetime, not the next one, or the one after that. I don't play about my mother. That little short lady, that little short mean lady, she gonna watch this and be like, Shell, really? Really, Shell? I'm short, I'm mean. Yes, mama, you are, but I love you. So when he said that, my ears perked up. I'm like, who you gonna? Oh dang, I can't say that on camera. I'm gonna edit that out. I'm like, who you gonna pew pew? He was like, yeah, like you heard what I said. Like I got my blicky in the car right now. Like I'll really come back up here and air this thing out. Like he really talking reckless at this point. I'm like, oh, so you really want to get active? You should have just told me that. You should have just told me you wanted to get active. You should have told me you wanted to get active. Like I was like, okay, so what's up? That's literally what I said. I'm like, okay, so what's up? And he like, oh, like, yeah, like you gonna be scared if I do this. I said, okay, and guess what? I'm gonna go get my pew pew. Mind you, I didn't have one at 16, 17 years old. But I'm like, when I go get my pew pew, I'm gonna come back up here and pew pew you back. Like, come on now. I wasn't making sense, but you know, I'm not gonna let you just say that to me and just act like you got the upper hand on me. And I was like, boy, I'll knock you out for real. And I meant that with all of my soul, all of my might. I meant that. And he like, you're not gonna do that. I'm like, bye, just get out of my face. So he walked away, gave me the craziest evil look, walked into the game room. So I get my book bag, I'm walking over to the windows to the left, the last two windows, mind you. I think at some point he had came back out into the lobby area, tried to snatch my backpack. I said, oh, don't do that. Don't touch me. Don't put your hands on me. He kept snatching. I said, don't do that. Put your hands on me. Go ahead about your day. Listen, y'all. If someone in the comments want to count how many times I warned him not to touch me, please feel free. He tried to get in my face. I said, get out of my face. At this point, 16, 17-year-old me had been through a lot of trauma. From family, and now working at this job, from my co-workers. So when I say that this was my breaking point, this was my breaking point. Because 3 years at this rec center, I have tolerated so much trauma. I could no longer contain myself. I could no longer contain the anger that I felt being the only female worker at this job for 3 years straight, having to be the punching bag for all of these men here, from grown men that should have known better, that should have had better self-control, that should have had better emotional skill. But no, at that time, the 16, 17-year-old girl should know better. I should have my emotional skills in check. I should not take it too personal because boys are just boys. So, I say to daddy's boy, I said, do not touch me. Oh, what are you going to do about it? I get quiet. I'm not a woman of many words. The only time that I talk is when I'm warning you to get your ass back. You go back into the game room. So I'm standing in the doorway. He tries to snatch from me again. On that last snatch, I'll never forget, he had on some white forces. I stepped my foot on his white forces. And I said, get the off me. I step with all of my might, yank, and like my elbow is like cocked to the side because I'm about to elbow him, right in his face. I'm not joking. He yanks as hard as he could, trying to make me fall over. But what he didn't realize that I'm strong too. And I've had a lot of dudes tell me that I'm strong for a woman. When he tried to yank me, I stepped on his white forest with all of my. I stepped on that thing like I was trying to kill a bug. I stepped on that thing. Stepped on it. And my book bag was like still like in my shoulder arm area, so he couldn't just snatch it off because like it was like it got caught right here. I yank and I elbow him like right here. I was like, right to the chest, and he kind of like moved back, like he kind of like stumbled back a little bit, and I yanked my bag and I flipped it off me and I tossed it to the floor. Mind you, I wear glasses, obviously, but I'm not wearing them for the video. So I snatch my glasses off. I do this. I fold them, toss them to the side. Took my jacket off, took it to the side. Took my phone. At that time, I had like an iPhone 5, I think. Took my phone, threw it. Mind you, my iPhone 5 had no screen protector on that thing. It had a measly little case. And baby, if you know about iPhones, them things will crack in a nanosecond. Especially like the older versions. I threw that phone, I flung it across the room. I didn't care if it cracked or broke. I did not care. I started snatching my clothes off. And he got in my face. He like, oh, so you think you tough? You think you tough? Mind you, when he had fumbled back, he came back up. So I'm explaining this real slow, but it happened in like 5 seconds. Like no cap. It happened in like 5 seconds. Me doing all this happened in like 5 seconds. I'm like, who the fuck you playing with? Who the fuck you playing with? And he like, oh, you tough. You tough. I was like, ninja, F-U-B, F-U-B, F-U-B. So at this point, we're shoving each other. Like, right? Like, we're like face to face, spitting in each other's face at this point. So when I had snatched my bag and he kind of stumbled, he got back in my face and like I shoved him again. So at this point, me and him are shoving each other, and I had like my hand had went for his chain, like I snatched it. I was like, BF you. And like when I said it, I snatched his chain a little bit, and like he kind of went forward, cause that chain, I don't know what type of chain he had, but that chain was on that man's neck. Like it was stuck to that man's neck for real. So when I had snatched his chain a little bit, he had yanked forward, and I was like, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? And then he's like, nah, get this off me, get her off me, get her off me. Like, who she thinks she is? I was like, you, like, we just trading blows at each other. I was like, that's why you a short ass man that can't get nobody, da 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 da. And he like, you corny. That's why you ain't got no car. That's why you broke. Da da da. Like he going crazy on me. I'm going crazy on him. I'm like, what's up? What's up? What's up? And like I'm just going crazy. And I started to shove him again. And he tried to hit me. I'm like, what's up? What's up? Like I actually posted up with this man. I posted up with Daddy's boy. Cause I'm like, at this point, you got me effed up. Like I am not taking this no more. Like I have endured 3 years of trauma from y'all. I'm not tolerating it no more. So at this point, my boss was upstairs in his office. So the place was so empty, it was like an echo. So he must have heard it in the office. He runs down the steps. Virgo, I don't know where he was at, but I think he was in the cage the whole time. But he was mad quiet for some reason. So Virgo comes from around the cage. My boss comes down the steps. I'm like, what's up? What's up? Like, I'm posted up. Mind you, I am 16, 17 years old. Posted up with a grown man. A 5'3" man. But nonetheless, he's grown, right? I'm posted up like I'm ready to box him right in his face. I'm like, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I was like, you a weak ass, you a weak ninja, you a weak ninja, you a weak ass ninja, you a weak ass ninja. Like, I'm going crazy on him. Whew. I'm saying a lot. Oh my gosh. It was just, it was too much. It was intense. And he's still talking. He's like, man, get this out of here. Get her out of here. She broke. She dusty. I was like, oh, but you was just saying that when you was talking to little girls. When you was talking to little girls. When you was talking to little girls. Like you was saying that when you was talking to that little 12-year-old girl. That's why you a PDF file. You a PDF file. You a PDF file. So when I said that, my boss is like, whoa, what are you talking about? I'm like, nah. I'm like, get your brother, because like your brother is over here talking to little girls, and like he a grown ass man talking to little girls, and my boss started laughing. Like, he wasn't laughing like it was funny, but he was like, whoa, like hold up, like now you saying a lot. I don't know what's going on. I was like, no, like, get your brother. I was like, that's why you a grown-ass man talking to little girls. And he was like, I never talked to a little girl. I'm like, yes, you did. Because when you was sitting right there, she sat on your lap and you didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing to her. All you said was, and da-da-da-da. And at this point, everybody's telling me to calm down. They like, yo, Shell, calm down. Like, you going. I'm like, no, like this, that, and da-da-da-da. So, at this point, I don't know. Oh, yeah. So, around this time frame, we did have a cop that would be up there, like, near the end of the shift. Because, like, we in the hood. And, people like to start stuff near the end of the day when the rec center is about to close. So, the cop, he must have been in the gym, or he was outside. I don't know where he was at. All I know is, this 6-something cop, he at least like 3-something, picks me up like this. Like, he bear hugs me, picks me up, and he's carrying me out the rec center. At this point, I'm not leaving, because I still want to fight. I'm like, get off me. And he like, hey, little lady. He like, hey, little lady, calm down. My feet is dangling. And he like, hey, little lady, calm down. I'm like, no. Da-da-da. And then he put me down for a sec in the lobby. So the lobby is like really big. So Daddy's boy is on this side of the lobby. The cop picked me up and carried me to this side of the lobby. So this side of the lobby is near the door that actually goes out to the building, because the other door is locked on Daddy's boy side of the lobby. So I'm standing there and he's still talking. I'm like, bro, that's why I'm gonna come back up here and I'm gonna blow this chup. And that's literally what I said. I was like, I'm gonna come back up here with my ninjas and we gonna blow this chup. That's literally what I said. And when I said that, they was like, oh, she making threats. I said, no, you, because you playing my face. And that's when I said that cop, he picked me up. He like, no, you gotta go. So I'm outside, like, and I'll never forget. Mind you, it's November, so like it's real chill. Like, it's a little cool. So, like, I'm a little cold, but I'm hot, because like, I'm angry. I'm like, I'm walking back, like, I'm pacing. I'm like, I'm going crazy. So, the boss come out. He like, get in the car. So, I got in his car, and I'm like, I need my stuff. Because, like, my book bag, my glasses, my charger, my phone, like, everything was still on the floor when I took it off me. Because I was about to fight. I'm like, I need my stuff. So he went back in. The cop went back in there. They got my stuff. They brought it to the car. My boss like, what happened? Like, what's going on? I'm like, bro. I said, I'm about to say his name. I'm like, bro, daddy's boy is not right. Like, he's a PDF file. He talked to little girls. Like, he started it with me. And my boss, he knew that I was a very calm person, okay? He knew that I would never go out of my way to fight at my job, let alone his family. So he was like, what's going on? I'm like, bro, talk to your brother, because I said what I said. And he was like, what do you mean he was talking to little girl? I'm like, he was talking to little girl. I'm like, that one girl, because like the little girl, she wasn't regular. I'm like, that little light-skinned girl with the ponytail that always come in here, he like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, she was sitting on his lap. Sitting on his lap, where his pickle at. Sitting on his lap, bouncing. I'm like, get your brother. Get your brother. So he dropped me off. And then they gonna hit me up. So my boss hit me up. And he was like, yeah, you can't come in for a few days. Not only because I tried to fight his brother, but because I had made that threat about blowing that place up. And I meant that. Because mind you, I lived in the hood for the majority of my life. The ones that I was talking about, they live in the hood too. Literally, like, where I lived at, all, like, the hood side of my family was right around the corner. If you want to act a little spicy, a little froggy, and I call my ninjas, oh, they gonna jump. They gonna jump. That's it, period. So I meant every single word of what I said. And my mom was on go. Like, she was ready to get them boys on them. Like, she was not playing around. We meet up with Mr. Player from the Himalayas. And he's talking to my mom about what happened. And my mom was like, give me one reason why I shouldn't press charges. Because my daughter is a minor. And your son is a grown man. And there's no reason why this should have happened. And he's like, well, yeah, I know. Like, it was wrong. And he's no longer working here. So I forget what happened. But long story short, I still kept my job shortly after that. Now, I know I mentioned me getting fired, because I did get fired, but not at this point. Time passed. I come back to the job. Virgo, at that time, he was updating me on what happened. Basically, all the staff, like all the dudes, they all basically turned against me because daddy's boy had to leave this rec center. So when I got back, you could cut the tension with a butter knife. It was so bad. It was so bad, bro. It was so thick. Like, the tension in the room was so thick. And for the next few months, it was just weird. Like, nobody wanted to talk to me no more. Like, none of the dudes wanted to talk to me. None of the dudes wanted to speak with me. They was talking mess behind me, in front of my face, behind my back. Y'all remember when I said that it was that boy in the car with daddy's boy that one time? When I was trying to walk home and he wouldn't let me get in the car with him. His brother, so daddy boy's friend, the classmate that I worked with, his brother, act like he wanted to fight. So I'm sitting there in the cage once again. He like just give me the steak face. I'm like, what's up? He like, man, I should beat your ass. I said, could do it. Because at this point, I want all the smoke with whoever got an issue that he left. And yes, I said issue, not issue, issue. Because at this point, yeah, I'm feeling real froggy. I'm ready to leap. Like, at this point, you care so much about him, crash out about him. Come on, let's go. He like, man, like, you not even worth it, but like, you wrong for that. Like, you fucked up. Like, you really messed with the wrong ones. Is this a mafia? Like, girl, like, you are like, this is a mafia. This is a rec center that's family based. I'm not scared, because if you want to run the fade, then run the fade. Now, a lot of y'all would have been like, Shell, you was kind of brave showing up knowing that all these people is his family. I don't give a mother F. I don't care. Run the fade. If you really standing on business about him, run the fade. If you really care about him, then crash out. Crash out about him. Crash out about this man if you care about him so much. Because at this point, I don't care. I never cared. So He talking. I'm like, okay, so what's up? And like, I just kind of got in that stance, and we had some words, and then he walked away. And then suddenly, a random day in January, my boss like, oh, like, we gotta lay you off because we can't afford to pay you, and da 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 da. And it has nothing to do with the incident in November. It did. I feel like they was butthurt because I was still there, and they couldn't just fathom the thought of seeing the girl that made this grown man leave this rec center. No, he made himself leave because he was there on his day off trying to fight a teenage girl. And he was drunk. Oh, I forgot to mention that. He was drunk. He was under the influence trying to fight a teenage girl on his day off. Oh my gosh, I forgot. He was drunk, y'all. So it's just like, it's my fault, but he showed up here drunk. And I was here because I was supposed to be here on my regular scheduled time. So time passes. Virgo still works there. So he's keeping me updated with everything. Tell me why. And my mom said this. She was like, Shell, she said, they gonna get their karma. She said, and you're going to hear about it. She said, that family, that rec center, they are going to get their karma. And you are going to hear about it. Tell me why. Almost like 2 years later, my mom sends me a link. She sends me a link. I go to the link. Why does it say the rec center's name has been closed? And then in the article, why did it say that Mr. Player from the Himalayas got arrested? Mr. Player from the Himalayas and his little partner in crime that was over here. I was flabbergasted. My mouth was to the floor. I said, oh my gosh. I keep reading the article. It says that workers had not been getting paid for months. Baby, everybody there, after I left, they were working for free. They were working for the FREE. They were working for free for months because Mr. Player from the Himalayas was not paying his workers. Virgo had told me that he wasn't getting paid for months. And a lot of people end up quitting or having to find another job meantime in between time because Mr. Player from the Himalayas was not paying his workers. It kind of echoes back to that time in January when my boss like, oh, we're letting you go because we don't got enough funds. I thought that he was capping. But fast forward 2 years later, it must have been true. Two things can be true. I feel like they did fire me because of the fight, but then also because they were going broke. And long story short, they got jailed. And what's crazy is I should have known something was sketchy because Mr. Player from the Himalayas had a nice big old house and it was customized. Like he had like a little balcony and everything. And I remember Daddy's boy talking about, oh, don't tell nobody where we live at. Boy, first of all, it's not we. This your daddy's house. Okay? This your daddy's house, not your house. 1. 2, your dad ain't nobody. I mean, he was a big name in the city, but he ain't nobody to really be looking for. Cause who looking for him? The ones that he did dirty, probably. They probably looking for him. But ain't nobody looking for this man. I heard that Daddy's boy eventually left the rec center altogether because of the bad reputation that came out by him and his little daddy and his family. And they stripped his name off that rec center, and it is no longer under his name. And yeah, the rec center is now just the rec center. So let's say it was Sesame Street Rec Center. It's no longer Sesame Street Rec Center. It's now just the rec center. And yeah, so justice was served. That's it for this video. Make sure you comment, like, share, subscribe. Please do all of that. I'll see you in the next one.